ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாத்தரம் முனிம். ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், பெரியாழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாத்தரம் முனிம். ரம்ய ஜாமாத்திரி யோகீந்திர பாத ரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜ முனிம் பஜே. லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மத் ஆச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். யோ நித்யமச்சுத பதாம்புஜ யுக்மருக்ம व्यामोहद स्थदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर् भगवतोस्य दैहिक सिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. माता पिता युते स्तनयाविभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेरुकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं शरश्च महताह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशैल योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेण परकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमणिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. गुरुमुखमनदीत्य प्राह वेदानशेषान् नरपतिपरिक्लुतं शुल्कम् आदाति कामः श्वशुरमरवन्द्यं रङ्गनाथस्य साक्षात् द्विजकुलतिलकं तं विष्णुचित्तं नमामि. மின்னார் தடமதில் சூழ் வெள்ளிபுத்தூர் என்னொருகால் சொன்னார் கழற்கமலம் சூடினோம் முன்னாள் கிழியறுத்தான் என்னுரைத்தோம் கீழ்மையைச் சேரும் வழியறுத்தோம் நெஞ்சமே வந்து. பாண்டியன் கொண்டாட பற்றபிரான் வந்தான் என்று ஈண்டிய சங்கம் எடுத்து உத வேண்டிய வேதங்கள் ஓதி விரைந்து கிழியறுத்தான் பாதங்கள் யாமுடைய 10. பெரியாழ்வார் திருமொழி. We have been going through the meanings for this wonderful prabandham in English with the help of the beautiful simple commentary in Tamil by Kanchipuram Prativadi Bhayankaram Sri Uve Anangaracharya swAmy. On the fly we are translating the meanings into English and we are enjoying the meanings for the same. We are now into 4th centum, 9th decade. In the previous one, Madhavatton Puthiran Poi Marikadal Vai, in that Padiham, we saw how periyAzhwAr enjoyed Srirangam and Sri Ranganatha. For Sri Vaishnavas, Archavatara Bhagavan is of great significance, and the Divideshams where Archavatara Bhagavan is residing. Divideshams here are those abodes, divine abodes of Bhagavan, which were performed Mangala Shasanam by Alvars. Those abodes are known as Divideshams. All of these Divideshams are of even greater significance than Bhagavan, because Bhagavan has desirously, eagerly arrived in those Divideshams and he is staying there for the upliftment of all the Jivatmas. In the Archavatara state, in his Archavataram, Bhagavan manifests ultimate simplicity, very easily approachable for everyone without any qualification. Anyone can approach Archavatara Bhagavan and surrender unto him. And because that Archavatara Bhagavan has great attachment for Divideshams, where he is residing eternally, those Divideshams are also very dear for Sri Vaishnavas. So in such Divideshams, the Srirangam is considered as the most important primary Dividesham. It is called as the root of our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. This Periya Perumal, Sri Ranganatha, Namperumal, they have arrived from Ksheerabdi. They were originally worshipped by Brahma, and then Ikshvaku got that Pranavakara Vimanam and Bhagavan inside it. And throughout the Surya Vamsham kings, all of them, they all worshipped this Sri Ranganatha as their Kula Deivam. Sri Rama, after being crowned in Sri Ayodhya, is giving gifts to all the attendants, all the participants. And when the turn came for Sri Vibhishana Alvan to receive a gift from Bhagavan Sri Rama, at that time Rama gave his own Tiruvaradhana Perumal along with the Vimanam. So this Pranavakara Vimanam came from Sri Rama to Sri Vibhishana Alvan. And while Sri Vibhishana Alvan was carrying this Bhagavan in the Pranavakara Vimanam, on the way to Lanka, in Srirangam, he had a stopover, and Bhagavan decided to stay here in this Dividesham. And then it's all history, because all the Alvars, all the Acharyas, and many devotees from all over the Bharatadesham has been overwhelmed by Sri Ranganatha's grace, and they have all glorified Sri Ranganatha in this Srirangam Kshetram. So, such Dividesham was glorified by periyAzhwAr in the previous previous decade, 4.8, that is Madhavatvam. Now, he is continuing to glorify this Dividesham and Sri Ranganatha in this next Padigam, which is maravadiyai Thambik. Now, why is he again glorifying Sri Ranganatha? That is because even after enjoying Sri Ranganatha and Sri Rangam Kshetram in the previous decade, periyAzhwAr did not become satisfied. He wanted to get more and more Anubhavam from Sri Rangam. And Perumal also wanted to show periyAzhwAr more and more Anubhavam on this Sri Rangam Dividesham. Hence, periyAzhwAr is enjoying Sri Rangam again in the next decade, in the 9th decade, maravadiyai Thambik. In the previous decade, periyAzhwAr enjoyed Krishna Avataram, Rama Avataram, and other Avatarams in Sri Ranganatha, based on the concept of Dharmi Aikyam. That is, it is the same Sriman Narayana who has appeared as Rama, who has appeared as Krishna, Narasimha, Varaha, and now as Sri Ranganatha. So because of that, periyAzhwAr greatly glorified Sri Rangam Kshetram, but not being satisfied with that, and also desiring to enjoy Sri Ranganatha in a different manner, periyAzhwAr again is singing this 9th decade on same Sri Ranganatha, Sri Rangam Dividesham. So let us see this decade now. Maravadiyai Thambikku Vaanpanayam Vaithu Poi Vaanor Vaazha Seruvudaya Disaikarumam Thiruthi Vandu Ulaganda Thirumal Koyil Thiruvadidan Thiruvuruvum Thirumangai Malarkannum Kaattinindru Uruvudaya Malar Neelam Kaatraata Osalikkum Oliyarangame. In every pasuram, we see in the end Kaatraata Osalikkum Oliyarangame. What does that mean? Kaatraata means as the wind is shaking a particular item. Here in this first pasuram, it is the flower, Karanaidal Pushpam. So it is swaying based on the movement of the wind. It is having great shine. This Srirangam Oliyarangam. Oliyarangam means very shining abode of Srirangam. So in all these pāsurams, that is the glorification of the Dividesham. We'll see each pāsuram now. Each pāsuram has a particular setup. First two lines speak about Bhagavan's various incarnations or various leelas, various aspects. And then second two lines, in general, periyAzhwAr is glorifying the Dividesham and its natural beauty and so on. And the connection is the glorious Bhagavan who is explained in the first two lines. His abode is Srirangam, which is again glorious. So that is the concept here. Let us see the word by word meanings. Thambik for Bharathalwan, who is the younger brother, who came in Chitrakutam and surrendered to Sri Rama. For such Bharathalwan, maravadiyai, Sri Padugaigalai, his divine sandals, that is Sri Rama's sandals. Vanpanayam Vaitu, he kept that as security. See, whenever we go to a bank, let's say, we ask for a loan, they'll ask, what is your security? What do you have as security? Similarly, here, Sri Rama refuses to come to Sri Ayodhya at that moment. But he promises that I will come as soon as these 14 years are over. For that, Bharathalwan is asking, okay, give me some security. I want something as guarantee. So for that, Perumal is giving his own Sri Padukas, which is most trustworthy. So, giving that as the guarantee to bring about great faith in Bharathalwan. He gives that. Vanor Vada, to have the Devatas live well. Poi, leaving the Chitrakutam. Chitrakutam is a very beautiful hilly region where Perumal stayed for some time. But because Bharathalwan had come there and everyone knew that he is there, he decided to move to Panchavati eventually. So, this Chitrakutam, leaving that place, Serudaya Disai Karumam, the southern direction where he has to fight a war. So, for all the activities to be done, those activities, Tiruthi, completing it without any shortcoming. Vandu, and then he returned to Sri Ayodhya along with Sita Pirati. Ulaga Anda, one who ruled the whole world from Sri Ayodhya, one who conducted this kingdom in the best manner, Thirumal, one who is Shriyapati, Sriman Narayana, the Lord of Sri Mahalakshmi. His divine abode is that Kovil. That Kovil means the abode, the Dividesham, is now the description of Srirangam. Tiruvadithan. Here Tiruvadi means Bhagavan himself. That is Sarva swAmy Periyaperumal. Tiruvurvum, his divine complexion. That is blackish complexion. Tirumangai, Periyapiratiya, Sri Mahalakshmi. Malarkannum, her divine eyes, well blossomed eyes, the complexion of that. Katinindru, showing that Uruvudaya, having beauty, that is beautiful, Neelam Malar, this Karunaidal Pushpam, this Karunaidal flower. This Karunaidal flower is a dark colored flower which is often matched for Perumal's divine complexion. Now here in this pāsuram, periyAzhwAr is saying the Karunaidal flower is showing the complexion of Bhagavan's divine form as well as Sri Mahalakshmi's divine eyes. Both are of same color. Mayyar Karunganni Kamalamalar Mel Seyyal. This is the pāsuram of Tiruvaimudi pāsuram of Nammalvar. Mayyar Karunganni, that is Sri Mahalakshmi's eyes are very dark, black in color. And then Bhagavan's eyes are reddish in color. Matching to that, Bhagavan's divine form is black in color. Sri Mahalakshmi's divine form is reddish in color. So because of seeing this reddish Sri Mahalakshmi, Perumal's eyes became red. Because of seeing blackish divine form of Bhagavan, Tayar's eyes are black. So it's said in a mutual way also. So that complexion, the dark color is shown by this carnelian flower. Katrata osalikum. As the wind blows, the flower will sway. And such abode of Srirangam is the place where such Sriman Narayana is eternally residing. So that is explained in the first pasuram. And this Srirangam is radiant. Oliyarangam. Oliyarangam is very radiant Srirangam. That is the first pasuram. Second pasuram. Thannadiyar thirathakathu thamarayal agilum sida uரைக்கு மேல் என் அடியார் அது செய்யார் செய்தாரேல் நன்று செய்தார் என்பர் போலும் மனுடைய விவீடனர்கா மதிலிலங்கை திசை நோக்கி மலர்கண் வைத்த என்னுடைய திருவரங்கர் கன்றியும் மற்றொருவருக்கு ஆளாவரே. In this pasuram, the beautiful quality of Bhagavan is shown. Here, even if Sri Mahalakshmi comes and complains about a devotee, Bhagavan's devotee, it is said that Bhagavan will argue with her, saying that my devotee is not like that. He will not do any mistake. You may be mistaken. He is doing it with good intent only. Even if he is doing something odd, Perumal will say, no, my devotee will not do any mistake. When he was your devotee, maybe he did some mistakes. When he has become my devotee, he will not do any mistakes, says Perumal. And the essence of this pasuram is Bhagavan and Sri Mahalakshmi, they are competing against each other to help Jivatmas. When Bhagavan refuses to accept a Jivatma, Sri Mahalakshmi forces him to accept a Jivatma, that Jivatma. When Sri Mahalakshmi complains about a Jivatma, then Bhagavan says, don't complain like that. He is a good person. So that is how they are so attached to all the Jivatmas. So let us see the pasuram. Thannadiyar thirathakathu. The matters relating to Bhagavan's devotees. Thamarayal agilum. On such matters, even if Periyapirati, Sri Mahalakshmi, who is the Purushakara Bhuta, that is one who helps the Atmas reach Bhagavan, even if that Sri Mahalakshmi herself, Siddha Uraikil El, if she says some mistakes, she will not. That is why it is Siddha Uraikil. That means if she does that, it is a very rare occasion, but if she does that, Ennadiyar adu seyyar. Immediately Bhagavan will say, my devotees will not do that. They will not commit those mistakes. You are only mistaken. Seidarel. And then he will say, okay, maybe you are right. They may be doing that particular activity. You consider it to be a mistake, but I don't consider it to be a mistake. I see it's a good act only. It is for our goodness only, says Perumal here. So, if Pirati sometimes is saying these complaints, having faith in Perumal that he will protect the Jivatma, and also sometimes she may tell these to test, to check how Bhagavan is committed towards a particular Jivatma. So she may be saying it for any one of these reasons. If she says, in whatever may be the reason, if she says that, if she gives some complaint about Bhagavan's devotees, then Bhagavan will say, Nandru Seidar Enbar. Bhagavan will say, no, they have done something good only. Mannude Vividanarka. For Vibhishanadvan who is having lot of wealth. For such Vibhishanadvan, Madilalangai Tisai Noki, having his face towards Lanka, which is having well fortified circle. So such Lanka, towards such Lanka is Bhagavan is facing there. Malarkan Vaita, his well blossomed divine eyes was placed by Bhagavan on that abode of Vibhishanadvan, Lanka. For என்னுடைய ஃபார் மை திருவரங்கிற்கு ஆளன் திருவரங்கிற்கு அன்றியும் ஃபார் பெரிய பெருமாள் அதர் than பெரிய பெருமாள் மற்றொருவருக்கு ஆளாவரே. Will one become a disciple or devotee or follower of anyone other than Periya Perumal, who argues with Sri Mahalakshmi herself? When Sri Mahalakshmi complains about a Jivatma, Bhagavan argues with Sri Mahalakshmi to support his devotee. That is how helpful he is, and that is how loving he is with all the Jivatmas. So, other than that Bhagavan, who is facing towards the eastern direction, looking at Lanka Rajyam, other than such Bhagavan, can we become servitor of any other Devata or any other person? We cannot. That is the answer here. So this is second pasuram. Third pasuram. கருளுடைய பொழில் மருதும் கதக்களிரும் பிளம்பனையும் கடியமாகும் உருளுடைய சகடினையும் மல்லரையும் உடைய விட்டு ஓசை கேட்டான் இருளகற்றும் வெறிகதிரோன் மண்டலத்து ஊடேற்றி வைத்து ஏணி வாங்கி அருள் கொடுத்திட்டு அடியவரை ஆட்கொள்வான் அமருமூர் அணியரங்கமே. Again in this pasuram, Bhagavan's great compassion, great mercy is shown. Let us see. கருளுடைய பொழில் மருதும். Karul means anger. So here the Marudha trees, the two trees which were appearing to be a single tree because they are closely joined, they are having great anger. Podil, the Marudha trees, they appear like beautiful garden. They are attracting everyone towards it. But they are possessed with some demons who are trying to kill Krishna. So that those two Mardhamarams, those two Mardha trees, Kadam Kalirum. Kadam Kalirum means very angry Kuvalayapidam elephant. Then Pilambanayum, Pralambasura. Pralambasura was a demon who came to kill Krishna. Pralambasuran. And then Kadiyamavum, very cruel horse. Ma means horse. That Keshi who came to kill Krishna. Urudaya Shagadinayum. And then the Shakatasura who came rolling towards Krishna. And then Mallarayum, all the wrestlers, Udayavittu, destroying them, killing them. Osaiketan. Because of that, he became very popular, very famous. Irulagatrum, eliminating the darkness. Erikadiron, the Surya, the sun, who is having lot of rays, which are driving out the darkness. That Surya's Mandalathudu, in his mandalam, that is through his orbit. Adiyavarai Etri, making the muktas, those who those devotees who get liberated, they are pushed up into the Surya Mandalam, the orbit of sun, the center portion of the sun, not the orbit, but the center portion of the sun, and from there sending the Atma through Archiradi Margam towards Paramapadam. So taking the Atma there, with placing them there, Yeni Vangi. Yeni is a very interesting way of saying. periyAzhwAr has said this. See, Yeni is something which helps us go from one place to another place, a lower place to higher place. So, Bhagavan, while in samsaram, while being the upayam of Jivatma, he helps the Jivatma to climb up to Paramapadam. But once that Muktatma, the liberated Atma, reaches Paramapadam, he changes his bhavam. That is, Bhagavan changes his bhavam. Instead of being upayam, now he is becoming upayam. That is the ultimate goal to be served. So that is what is explained as Yeni Vangi. So he is changing his position from being the means to being the goal. Arul Koditittu, in this manner, showing his mercy towards all the Atmas, for them not to return back to samsara, because they are getting liberation now, going through the Archiradi Margam. So Bhagavan is giving his mercy to them that they don't return to samsara. Showing this mercy, Atkolvan, Bhagavan who accepts, one who accepts servitors, Amarumur, the Tirupati, that is the divine abode where he is eternally residing, is Aniyarangam. This beautiful Srirangam, says periyAzhwAr in the third pasuram. Now, fourth pasuram. பதினாறாம் ஆயிரவர் தேவிமார் பணி செய்ய துவரை என்னும் அதில் நாயகராகி வீற்றிருந்த மணவாளர் மண்ணு கோயில் புது நான்மலர் கமலம் எம்பெருமான் பொன்வயிற்றில் பூவே போல்வான் பொது நாயகம் பாவித்து இருமாந்து பொற்சாய்க்கும் புனலரங்கமே. Next pasuram. Here Dwarakadishan is explained and he is connected to Srirangam. That Bhagavan is the same one who is present in Srirangam also. So that Bhagavan is glorified here. Tuvarayannum Adhil, in Sri Dwaraka, in the town, Padinaram Ayiravar Devimar, 16,108 divine consorts were there for Krishna. In Dwaraka, he has arranged one palace for each one of those divine consorts of Krishna. So, all of them, Panisaya, as they do Kainkariam, as they serve Krishna, Nayakaragi Vittirinda, he remains as the Lord, he remains as the hero of everyone. Amidst them, where everyone of his divine consorts are worshipping him, he is present there. He is present, that Manavalar, the Adagi Manavada Perumal, that is the Bhagavan who is the newly wed person. What they say as Mapillai. So Manavalar means Mapillai. Mannu Koyil, that Bhagavan's divine abode, the permanent abode, that Koyil is Srirangam, which has this beauty. So the next two lines explain that. Pudu Nal Kamalam Mani Malar. Pudu Nal Kamalam Malar means that lotus flower which is so fresh, which is now blossomed, just blossomed now. Pudu Nal Kamalam Malar, that freshly blossomed lotus flower. Emberuman, Bhagavan's Ponvayithil, the beautiful divine navel, Poo Polvan, to acquire the greatness equal to that of the flower which is present in Bhagavan's divine navel. So the flower here in this Dividesham to acquire the fame and the greatness of the divine navel flower, that is the lotus flower on Bhagavan's divine navel. For that, Pudunayagam Bhavit. This flower here, one of the flowers, it is taking all the responsibilities and it is competing with Bhagavan's divine navel lotus flower. Irumandu. And because of that lotus flower's greatness, it became prideful. Ponsaikum, and then it pushes down all the other lotus flowers which were present there. So such funnel, the abundant water is present there. Arangam, Tiruvarangam, Dividesham, Srirangam, Dividesham. So this abode has lots of water. There is said to be Ashtatirtham here. 8 different ponds are there or water bodies are there. And then there is also South Kaveri and North Kaveri. Both sides the river is flowing. So there is lots of water here. Such Punalarangam, Srirangam, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram. Amayai, Gangayai, Alkadalai, Avaniai, Aruvaregalai, Nanmuganai, Nanmarayai, வேள்வியாய் தக்கனையாய் தானுமானான் சேமமுடை நாரணார் சென்று சென்று நாரதனார் சென்று சென்று துதித்து இறைஞ்ச கிடந்தான் கோயில் பூமருவி புள்ளினங்கள் புள்ளரையின் புகழ் குழரும் புனலரங்கமே. Next pasuram. To explain his supremacy over every individual entity, every object, Bhagavan explains his own greatness to Sri Narada Maharishi. When Krishna went to meet the kings, at that time Narada comes there and he glorifies Krishna. The people who are there, they did not understand anything what Narada Muni is glorifying. So at that time, Bhagavan Krishna explains the kings there, they were asking to Narada, they were praying to Narada, what is the theme of your glorification on Krishna? We want to know. And Krishna also tells Sri Narada Muni that, okay, you should explain that to them. And that particular principle is explained by periyAzhwAr here. That is, here the importance of Yagam and Dakshina are explained, and that is related to that incident which happened where Krishna was with all the kings, and when Sri Narada Bhagavan came there, through the Narada Bhagavan, the meanings of the glorifications were revealed by Krishna to everyone. He got Sri Narada Bhagavan to reveal all of that to all the kings. So that incident is explained here. Amayai. So here there is I. He became. That means he assumed the different form of different aspects. That is what is to be understood here. Amayai. So first, Bhagavan remained as the tortoise in the Ganga water. and then Gangayai. Then he became little bit bigger. He became Ganga, which holds all the living beings, all the entities, starting with the tortoise and all. All Kadalai. Now, even that Ganga goes and takes shelter in ocean. So, Bhagavan became the ocean. Avaniyai. That ocean is on earth. So, being that earth. Aruvaregal I. The earth is supported by huge mountains, being those mountains. Nanmuganai. The Chaturmukha Brahma, who is the Shrishtikarta, the creator of all of these. Non-Marayai. And then being the Vedam, which is the eyes for that Brahma also. He cannot survive without Vedam. So that being that Vedam. Non-Maray means four Vedams. And then Velvi, those Vedantam will go and rest on the yajnas. When we do the yajnas, the Vedantam takes rest in there. So that is Velviyai. And then finally Takkanayai. Takkanai means Dakshina. Whenever a particular yagam is done, Dakshina is given. Whenever we learn something from Guru, Dakshina is given. So this Dakshina is very important. So here, one by one, periyAzhwAr is explaining that Bhagavan has become this, and so on. So each one is greater than another. And in that chain, even more than the Yagam, Dakshina is greatly glorified. So that Dakshina, and finally Tanumanan. Even Bhagavan assumed divine Archa forms through which he can give everyone's desires, through which he can fulfill everyone's desires. So Bhagavan is remaining as all of these entities. Now we can see that Dakshina is just below Bhagavan. So usually in Laukika terms also, some people say that money is so important. Maybe God is more important than money. But other than that, for us, everything is money. So that concept is explained here. One time when I was in Alvar Tirunari, Vadakku Tirumaligai swAmy, he explained this pasuram. Whenever we go there, um, we go to swAmy and he gives very nice pasuram anubhavams. So one time he took this pasuram and he explained actually. You see, Bhagavan remained as tortoise, and then tortoise is resting, staying in Ganga, and then Ganga is taking refuge of the ocean. Ocean is supported by earth. Earth is supported by the mountains. Mountains are created by Chaturmukha Brahma. Brahma is dependent on Vedam. Vedam becomes complete when it is used in when Vedantam is used in yajnas, and these yajnas, these sacrifices become complete when Dakshina is offered, and then finally Bhagavan is there. So uh, that swAmy explained it very nicely. So Bhagavan being all of these, Semamudai, the Kshema means goodness, well-being. So here, Sri Narada Bhagavan, who is always in Brahma Bhavana, always thinking about Bhagavan, such Naradanar, Semamudai Naradanar, that Sri Narada Bhagavan, who is always having well-being of being engaged in Bhagavan only. Sendru, that Narada Bhagavan went again and again, Tudit, praised, Irange, to worship Kidandan, that Bhagavan is mercifully resting. Koil, his abode, his divine abode. What is it? Which is it? It is Srirangam only. Punal, Pullinangal, all the birds, swan and other birds, Pu Maruvi, staying on the flowers which are on water and so on. Pullarayan, the Periya Tiruvadi, who is the leader of their clan, that is birds clan. For all the birds, Garudalwar is the leader. So his Pugal, glories, his greatness, Kudarum, speaking without any clarity, just coherently speaking. All the birds are speaking. Kudarum Punalarangam, the Srirangam which is having abundance of water, says periyAzhwAr here. So all the birds, they are all glorifying Garudalwar because he is their leader. So that is explained here, and such birds, they are all speaking about Periya Tiruvadi, that is Garudalwar's greatness. Such Srirangam, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram. மைத்துனன்மார் காதலியை மயிர் முடிப்பித்து அவர்களையே மன்னராக்கி உத்தரதன் சிறுவனையும் உய்யக்கொண்ட உயிராளன் உரையும் கோயில் பத்தர்களும் பகவர்களும் பழமுடிவாய் முனிவர்களும் பரந்தாடும் சித்தர்களும் தொழுதிறைந்த திசைவிளக்காய் நிற்கின்ற திருவரங்கமே. மைத்துனன்மார் காதலியை. Here in this pasuram, Krishna's help to Pandavas, that is greatly explained. மைத்துனன்மார் காதலியை. This Panchali, Draupadi, who is the wife of Krishna's cousins. Mayir Mudipithu, she vowed, when she was insulted in the Sabha, she vowed that until Dushasana and all the brothers of Duryodhana get killed, I will not tie my hair. So she had her hair spread out. And Krishna did not like it. Usually, women should have, anyone actually, women or men, when there is hair, it should be tied. It should not be spreading out. So, when Draupadi's hair was like that, Krishna did not tolerate at all. So, he wanted her hair to be tied. But she has taken a vow. So, he executed all the activities which will accomplish that. So he conducted the whole Yuddham so that Pandavas will win, Dushasana and everyone will get killed, and then Duryodhana will get killed, and because of that, she can tie the hair. So Mayir Mudipithu, making that happen, Avargalaye Manaraki, and then he made the Pandavas as the kings. And he made sure that they conducted a very righteous kingdom. And then Uttaradan Siruvanai, not only in the battle, not only many people got died, finally also Ashwatthama came and killed Upapandavas, the Pandavas' children, 5 children, and then he wanted to kill Abhimanyu's son, who is in the womb. He is not come out yet. So still, Ashwatthama sent the Brahmastram towards that fetus, and that Brahmastram hits the fetus, and the fetus become almost dead. At that time, it falls down also from Uttara's womb. At that time, Krishna comes and he touches the Parikshit, that fetus, who became to be known as Parikshit. And he delivered, he saved the life of Parikshit. So, that Uttaradan Sirvanai, that Parikshit, Uyyakonda, he gave the life for Parikshit, and also because of his mercy, he became very knowledgeable also, and he got his life by the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. So such Parikshit, Veeralan. Not only that, Bhagavan is the Lord of all the Atmas. Urayum Koil, the abode where he is residing. Which one is it? That is explained subsequently in the next two lines. Bhaktargalum, all the devotees. Pagavargalum, all the sannyasis. Padimodivai, Munivargalum, all the uh, rishis, the sages who are always reciting Vedam, which is eternal. Parandanadum, the great people of this great place, this vast place. Sittargalum, Sittargal means Nityasuris and Muktatmas. Toludi Irenja, to all of them to worship, to perform Anjali and worship. This will be like Kain and Kindra, one who is remaining as the lamp which lights up all the surroundings. Nirkindra, Thiruvarangame, this Srirangam only, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram, Kurat Brahmachariyai Mavaliye Kurumbadaki Asurar Vangi, இறைப்பொழுதில் பாதாளம் களவிருக்கை கொடுத்துகந்த எம்மான் கோயில். எரிப்புடைய மணிவரை மேல் இளஞாயிறு எழுந்தார் போல் அரவணையின் வாய் சிறப்புடைய பணங்கள் மிசை செழுமணிகள் விட்டெரிக்கும் திருவரங்கமே. Kural Brahmacharya. Here Vamanavataram is explained very nicely. Kural Brahmacharya, one who went as a Vamana Brahmachari. That is, Vamana means one who is beautiful and one is short. Brahmachari is celibate. So, Kural Brahmacharya. Bhagavan went as this very dwarf Brahmachari. Mavaliye Kurumbadaki. He controlled the pride of Mahabali. Mahabali was very prideful. He controlled that pride. Arasuvangi. And then Bhagavan accepted the earth which is under the ownership, or seemingly which is under the ownership of Mahabali. Mahabali thinks that it is mine at the moment. And such earth that was accepted. Iraipozhudil, in a very fraction of a moment, Pathalam, the Pathala Lokam, Kalavirikai Koduthu, granting that place as the abode for Mahabali. Uganda, and then he became satisfied, happy that I have done something for Indra, who is come and prayed to me like this. So, becoming joyful, Yamman, my Lord, my Emberuman, Koil is abode. His presence is where, that is in Srirangam, that is explained here. Yeripudaya Manivarai Mel. On a Ratna Parvatam, that is an gemstone mountain. On that, Ilanyayiri Elundar Pol. If a Bala Surya, that is very young Surya, comes out, if it dawns there, Aravanayin boy, the Thiruvananthalvan, that is Adisheshas, Sirapudaya Panangal Misai. Very beautiful hoods of Thiruvananthalvan. On that, Shelumanigal Vitterikum. Very beautiful gemstones. They are shining in this Srirangam, where on top of Adishesha, on the hoods of Adishesha, this gems, they are all shining very nicely. Such Thiruvarangam is Bhagavan's abode, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram, Urambatri Iraniyanai Ugirnudiyal ஒள்ளிய மார்பு உரைக்க ஊன்றி சிரம்பற்றி முடியடிய கண்பித வாயலர தெளித்தான் கோயில். உரம்பெற்ற மலர்கமலம் உலகளந்த சேவடி போல் உயர்ந்து காட்ட வரம்புற்ற கதிர் சென்னல் தாழ் சாய்த்து தலைவணக்கும் தன்னரங்கமே. Here also natural beauty is explained. And before that, in the first two lines, Narasimha Avataram is explained. Uram patri iraniyanai. Ugirnudiyal ஒள்ளிய மார்பு உரைக்க ஊன்றி. The meaning for this pasuram: உரம் பற்றி இரணியனை. உரம் பற்றி, the Hiranyakashipu, he is having lots of boons which gave him lot of strength. From many devatas he got boons and they gave him great strength. That Iranyanai, that Hiranyasura, Ugirnudiyal, which is with his very sharp nails, Oldiya marbu, his beautiful chest. Here Hiranyakashipu's beautiful chest is said here. Oldiya marbu, Uraika, to become completely destroyed. Undri, Bhagavan placed his nails on the chest of Hiranya. Undri, Mudi, the crown, Kiritam, Idiya, to become into pieces, to break into dust. Kan, his eyes, Pidunga, to squeeze out those eyes. Vai alara, to make the one cry out in agony. Siram patri, he, Narasimha Bhagavan, held the head of Hiranya. And Tharitan, one who made great noise. Koil, his abode is Srirangam. How is that Srirangam? Uram Petra, having abundance of wealth, natural beauty. Kamalam Malar, the lotus flower. Ulaga Alanda, when Bhagavan lifted his divine foot to measure the whole world, say adipole, like that divine feet, uyarndu kaata. The lotus flowers are growing so tall that they look like Bhagavan's divine foot, which was raised when he measured the whole world. Varambutra, the Kadir means here crops. All the crops have grown quite well, and they are all along the borders of the field. So such Kadir, having the race, Sennel, reddish paddy, Tal Saith, paddy crops. Tal Saith means spreading its feet. Talai Vanakum, it is worshipping, bowing its head in Tannarangame, in this very cool Srirangam, says periyAzhwAr. So Hiranyasura and Srirangam, both are shown here in this pasuram. Next pasuram, 9th pasuram. தேவுடைய மீனமாய் ஆமையாய் ஏனமாய் அரியாய் குரலாய் மூவுருவில் இராமனாய் கண்ணனாய் கற்கியாய் முடிப்பான் கோயில் சேவலோடு படையண்ணம் செங்கமல மலரேறி ஊசலாடி பூவனை மேல் துதைத்தெழு செம்படியாடி விளையாடும் புனலரங்கமே. Let us see the word by word meanings. Devudaya, Dev means here Tejas, that is great radiance, having radiance. Meenamai, being Matsyam. So again Bhagavan incarnates in so many different forms, they are all listed here. Meenamai as fish, Amayai as tortoise, Yenamai as Varaha, as Bhagavan Varaha, Ariyai, and then as Narasimha, Kuralai, being Vamana, Murvil Iramanai, and then there is Parashurama, Srirama, Balarama. All the three incarnations are shown here. Kannanai, Sri Krishna, being Sri Krishna, Karkiyai, and then being the Kalki Avataram, Mudipan, Asura Rakshasas. Bhagavan is trying to kill Asuras and Rakshasas, coming in all these different divine forms. The abode of such Bhagavan, which one is it? That is Srirangam. That is explained in subsequent two lines. Sevalodu, with the male swan, Pedayannam, the female swan, Sengamalam Malar, on the reddish lotus flower, Yeri, climbing, Usaladi, swaying it in both sides and enjoying. Pu Anai male, on the flower mattress, Tudaindu, becoming angry with each other due to romantic fight, and because of that, Tudaindu, fighting with each other, and then Edu, Kilaranda, rising up, Sembodi, the flower has the reddish buds, small ones. That reddish shunnam, that is the buds, by that Adi, fully immersed, and Velayadum, those who are playing, such Punal Arangame, that Srirangam which is having beautiful water, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. 9th pasuram is over. Now 10th pasuram. Seruvalum Pullalan Mannalan செரிச்செய்யும் நாந்தகம் என்னும் உருவாளன், மறையாளன் ஓடாத படையாளன் விழுக்கையாளன், இரவாளன் பகலாளன் எண்ணெயாளன், ஏழுலக பெரும்புறவாளன், திருவாளன் இனிதாக திருக்கண்கள் வளர்கின்ற திருவரங்கமே. This திருவரங்கம் is where Sriman Narayana is very peacefully resting. That is explained in this pasuram. Seru Alum Pullalan, those who come fighting with Bhagavan, with such people, Garudalvar can himself fight and drive them out. Such leader, such lord, Mannalan, the one who is controller of Leela Vibhuti, Mannalan, and then Seruchayum Nandagam ennum Oruvalan, the devotees of Bhagavan, when someone opposes them, when they come fighting against them, this Nandakam is a beautiful sword which can be used to destroy any of the devotees. So that, having that Nandakam sword, Marayalan, and then one who is the leader of all the 4 Vedams, Odada Padayalan, and he is having a great army which no one will return without getting the task accomplished. And then Marayalan, those 4 Vedams, and then Odada Padayalan, those army which will never show their back and run away from battlefield. Vilukkayalan, one who is having greatly magnanimous hands, which is not hesitating to give everything. Iravalan, the one who is the controller of Rathri, that is night. Pagalalan, one who is the controller of morning. Yennayalan, and apart from all of that, he is the Lord of me, my Lord. Yel Ulagam, Perumpuravu Alan, the Sapta Lokas, that is 7 lokas, and they are all Sukshetram, that is very auspicious abode. One who is controlling all of that, that Bhagavan. Thiruvalan, he is the divine Lord of Sri Mahalakshmi. So, that leader of Lord of periyAzhwAr's divine consort. Inidaga, becoming joyful in his heart, Tirukkangal Valarginra, the abode, divine abode, where Bhagavan is resting. Tirukkan Valarudhu means resting. Tirukkan Valarginra, that is on the places where he is resting, that Koil is Tiruvarangam. That abode is Sri Rangam, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. And then finally 11th pasuram. Kainaga Tidarkadinda Kanadari Padayudayan Karudum Koil Tennadum Badanadum Todaninda Tiruvarangan Tirupadiyin Mel Mainavan Meyadiyan Vitusithan Virita Tamil Uraikavallar Enyanum Emberuman Enayadikil Enaypiriyadi Irupar Thame. The result of this, the recital of this Padikam continuously is said to be the one who recites will reach Bhagavan and remain there permanently. That is the result shown here. Kainagati Edarkadinda, Bhagavan who eliminated the suffering of Gajendra Alvan, who is having a big trunk, huge trunk. Kanalari, one who is having very shining Tiruvadi Alvan, that is Sudarshana Chakratalvar, Padayudayan. That Chakratalvar is the Ayudham. Thus, that Chakratalvar is the weapon for Bhagavan, and such Bhagavan, Karudum Koil, he eagerly, desirously came and stayed in this Dividesham. Even when Vibhishan Alvan was crossing over Kaveri, it is Bhagavan who reminded Vibhishan Alvan to go down and perform his activities. So such Bhagavan who is eagerly residing in this Dividesham, Tennadum, Vadanadum, Thodanindra, that abode is glorified by both people from the southern direction and from northern direction, from everywhere. Tiruvarangam, Tirupadi in Mel. On that Tiruvarangam, Tirupadi, on that Dividesham named Sri Rangam, Mainnavan Meyyadiyan Vittuchittan, this Vishnuchitta, that is periyAzhwAr, who is having truthful speech, and then he is a real true servitor. Virita Tamil, such Vishnuchittan, that is periyAzhwAr, beautifully explained these 10 pasuras. Uraikavallar, those who can recite these pasurams, Emberman Enayadi Kil, at the lotus feet of periyAzhwAr is saying, my Lord Paramapadanatha, under him, under the lotus feet which are very matching, at the lotus feet, that is the lotus feet of Paramapadanathan, under that எஞ்ஞான்றும் இணை பிரியாது இருப்பர். Those who recite these 10 pasurams, they will eternally remain with the divine feet, under the divine feet, says periyAzhwAr. So through this decade, again one more Thiruvarangam Sri Ranganatha Anubhavam by periyAzhwAr. With this we stop today and we will continue on the next session. ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், பெரியவாச்சான் பிள்ளை திருடிகளே சரணம். பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் பல்லாண்டு தின்றோள் மணிவண்ணா உன் சேவடி செவித்திருக்கா படியோமோடும் நோடும் பிரிவின் ஞாயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாய் நின்மலமார்களில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சிலர் ஆழியும் பல்லாண்டு படுபோர் புக்கு முழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டே. We'll see in the next session.